Thank you, Ranking Member. Chairman Green, let me just ask you, you've heard a lot here. Is there any of that you want to respond to?
Well, there's a lot of it. The first accusation was a rush to get this done. We've taken almost a year of looking at this, 400 pages of reports, 5 phases of an investigation: phase 1, dereliction of duty; phase 2, the support of the drug cartels, empowering them to spread across our country. Some great reports out of San Francisco about how the Mexican cartels and the Honduran cartels have connected with the gangs in San Francisco. Phase 3, the human costs, which have been incredible. The financial cost was phase 4, and then waste, waste of millions and millions of dollars on unused ICE detention beds and hotels that were purchased that were never used. So we have exhausted our resources. We have looked into this incredibly lengthy. I could go on, but I'm sure you've got other questions.
Sure. Well, I appreciate you bringing to our attention the fact that these articles, or this was referred to your committee rather than Judiciary. Some people might ask why Homeland Security is bringing this rather than the Committee on the Judiciary. So I appreciate that. And that was, I guess, a bipartisan referral to your committee, was it not?
It was, and the Supreme Court has ruled that the will of the House determines our processes, and so the House spoke, and they referred it to us.
So, like everyone else, I've made multiple trips down to the border over the years, and what has been just overly predominantly the sentiment that's been expressed to me is nobody's ever seen anything like this. I mean, this is a catastrophe beyond anything that has ever happened before. We thought there were problems during the Bush years. We knew there were problems during the Obama years. There were problems during the Trump years, but this is unimaginable. What is going on, and just the amount of human suffering that's been caused by the open borders, come on over mentality that has been promulgated by this administration. So let me just ask you, can you provide us just a couple of highlights from your investigation?
Yes, sir. One of the things that became very clear, that this is not a migration crisis caused by some event in Latin America or Central America. This is a catastrophe of our own creation. When we did away with the policies, 87 different policies that worked from the previous administration, talked in an election about opening the borders, talked about amnesty in the election, people tested the system. And they came, they realized they were going to be released into the country, and they phoned home. And now millions have come. We took the pull factors and just exploded them into a massive magnet, and people are coming because they know that they're going to get released. 85% actually is what Secretary Mayorkas said in a private meeting that was reported out, are just being released into the country. And with that, the drug cartels have seized the opportunity. They're actually trafficking everybody who comes through Mexico now, charging $10,000 to $50,000, $60,000, $75,000, making tens of billions of dollars for themselves just from the human trafficking. But what they do is they take those mass peoples, they control them, they hit a crossing site, and at the strategic level, that ties up the CBP personnel, and then they're free to come across the border with the fentanyl. And that's why fentanyl's gone from $98 a hit to $20, $25 a hit, in at least Tennessee, in accordance with my sheriffs. It's why so many hundreds of thousands, well, 150,000 Americans have died to fentanyl. It is a policy change that violated the laws. We're not here about policy, we're about violation of the laws written by this body, right? That resulted in the cartels basically owning the southwest border. And the Border Patrol agents tell us, if we can just detain. Well, the law is very clear, shall detain. It doesn't say anywhere in the law, you shall capture every murderer, DOJ, but what Congress told the executive branch, you shall detain. And this only this secretary, not any of the others, Democrat or Republican, only this secretary sent a memo to his people saying, don't do that.
And he was well aware of these facts that you've just disclosed to us.
Yes, Secretary Mayorkas has been in the department many times, and he knows what the laws are, and he has created systems to subvert those laws.
I appreciate your efforts on this. I know it's been a long task for you and for the committee. I'll defer further questions because I'll talk about this on the floor tomorrow and recognize the ranking member of the Rules Committee.